Hi, everybody. Sorry. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, I wanted to go over what we are going to be doing today, and I wanted to talk about Project 5. And I also wanted to say, I'm not going to be able to complete it. Oh, I got some followers. I'm not going to be able to complete the whole thing, but I will be able to try to do my best to try to see what I can navigate and narrate to fit this project. I always start off telling you what the projected thing comes in and then it happens. But let's get started, man, because I really want to get on this project. Um, Hold on. So what all do I have up? Hold on. Before I end up closing out and opening back up. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we're gonna go to launch, but we already have it. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. Don't laugh, y'all. Hold up. This don't even need to be open yet. This need to be open. Okay. We are going to go searching for the answer based on the structure of this 19-page paper. I'm not going to sit up there and say that I'm going to read every word, but I'm going to get a sense of feel of the abstract and conclusion, and then I'm going to sit up there and get a feel of the first beginning. I'm not saying this is the way to behave as a student and this is proper, but it's not cheating because I'm gathering data based on the questions you ask and not reading the whole thing and then have to reread it to fit, which is the proper way. I'm not saying you do it your way, I do it my way, and this is how I've been doing it. I'd rather do that than sit up there and cheat. Okay. Okay. I got it already. So we got this assignment, Unit 5, individual project due. It's due by tomorrow, 11:59. 59. I love that. So pretty. But yeah, like 11:59, 59. And I'm like, okay, fine. That's appropriate. So I have to finish by at least 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Now, tomorrow schedule before I get started is as follows. I probably go out to get some lettuce. I just want to get some lettuce and come right back. I'm not doing. I may go on a drive. I don't know yet, but I ultimately, if I do it, I do it super early. But other than that, uh, I just want some lettuce. And then when I come back, usually I get back like around 11 or 12, and then I can just do my project. I never lied about my schedule. Everybody, both foreign, domestic, interstellar, know my schedule and know how I get down. So it's like no script or puzzle to no one what I do every day, of my life. So yeah, I really do need some spinach though. That's for real. That I don't know if that's a good thing because my lettuce that I have in there. I'm just telling you the truth, yo. Y'all think I'm being funny, and I'm not being funny. The lettuce in there is like fizzled. It's like rubbery. It's not like crunch, snappy, fresh. It's like, and you're like, okay, there's no way I'm eating this shit. It's been here for 2 weeks. So I have to get some lettuce. Seriously. Golly. Okay. Oh, I miss Kick. Yes. I could take y'all out and then just do it all over again, but no. I wasted 6 minutes and 42 seconds. No. Um, Let me see. Here it is. You see what I did already? You see it? Do you see it? Ha ha ha. Okay, so I started on this off camera a little bit, but I didn't do nothing. Don't laugh. I didn't do much, but I did something to give me a skeleton of what I have to write. So if you scroll up here, this is how I'm going to write around this for an introduction. So we're going to start with analyzing, describe two change models that you can use to create change in an organization. So we have to define that. So we have to find the answer. And if I do this introduction based on finding the answer for this 19-page paper that I'm going to skim through, each thing is the question that he asks. If I can find the answers, basic snippets of citations, citations. I'm teaching y'all something. If y'all want to go to school, man, you find a quote that is relatable to the question. It's not by chance. I've done it a lot of times. I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to ruin this film. I'm really sorry. I'm just saying, like, I knew it, but I always second guess myself. Like it was terrible, man. I knew what I was like. One male, white male. I'm sorry. I can't help it. He was my first statistics teacher. He gave me a C, and I earned that C in my undergraduate studies at Coppin State University, going for my bachelor's in psychology. It was hard as crap. I still don't understand the mean median mode bell-shaped curve. I guess the median is the middle number in between the low and the high. But the basic what I was saying, I don't know it. I really don't know everything. Bell-shaped curve and all of that. It's beautiful, man. What I do know, it was terrible learning that. And that's all I know, because that's all I could retain. I could retain more, like, you know, X plane, Y plane, and then you moving into algebra. Like, it was just to understand that you would have to understand how to put a spaceship, a standardized based on what science we can muster up, new spacecraft of the modern day. What would that look like, Tom? I don't know how I got here. Oh Lord. Okay, so describe two. Okay, I have to look. Wow, that's weird, man. That's mind games, man. I was just talking about somebody named Belly and stuff. Wow. Okay. So, where are we at? Okay. The first question, we're going to keep this up for this is one model. We already it just jumps into it. What? Where's the abstract? Oh, I missed the introduction. So many daggone and so many citations that I didn't even notice. I skip. I be skipping those citations. I'm not trying to, and that's fucked up that I do that. Because it's like you got to represent their names. Oh my God, look at all those people. Yeah, yeah. That, you know, is it always sunny in Philadelphia? I used to watch that. And I was watching a lot of stuff. I was watching a lot of stuff, you know, so many places that can attach to Is It Sunny in Philadelphia? You know, I would see them work together, who's the boss and all that. I'm just thinking of random shit, random shit pop up in my I'm gonna say it, but it's just the point that whether it's fake or real, they will all work together in good company and watching good, productive, whether white or black, family matters. Don't think I didn't go black. I went black. I took it there. But yeah, I used to watch all types of stuff, man. That's when it always, and I know they got tired of it, but it always had a problem that they always seem to fix. As if you can follow a lot about a team if you watch those type of shows. They go through something, and sometimes they make the other person hurt, but they notice what they did wrong and they address it. And the right thing to do in every circumstances watching those videos was to accept that defeat and just acknowledge it and move forward. But don't forget that is team and the productivity it puts out. Because that's all I noticed. You know, my most horrific cartoon to watch. What do you think it is? It's the most loved. video. It causes those violins popping and those people swaying from Africa. That movie Lion King, right? The 95 version. I haven't seen the new version. But the 95, everybody remember that. 84 Babies. That was the movie everybody unified to go see. We had just enough to see it on bootleg or see it. But we saw it, we had it in our houses, and it was the most horrific, you know, lions going through Egyptian shit in Egypt. But yet it kind of follows the European Western culture too. How people can just fuck you over. They fucked over Jesus Christ. But he did something no one probably today wouldn't even do. He sacrificed his life. Some people are willing to do it in the police force. Let me not say that. That's a selfish act. But some people willing to do it in the police force. Some people do it for the CIA. Some people do it. Some people do it. Yeah. Okay. More. Okay. I had to. Okay. So basically, this introduction, I've explained that. Let's move forward. Okay. So that is beautiful. Yeah. 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 I got the first one. Whoa, what's this? This is the same thing. Ooh, there you go. You just pop out of nowhere. You're like, here I am. Let's get on with it already. That's one model though. That's one model. And what is it called? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Well, this is the model. Hold on. Go up for a second. Okay. Ooh. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think I know what that is. Okay. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. It's in here. That's one. So, your question, change models. Change. Hmm. Interesting. That's one. Boom. It's right. It's right. I, ooh, it made me have to reread it. I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I hate having to go back over it. That's the only pet peeve I have, and I hate that. You can't see it sometimes. I'm not a strong, like, yeah, it's right there. But what I don't get is it said two types of leadership behavior, which is initiating structure and consideration of the leadership behavior model. So the two types of leadership behavior is initiating structure and consideration. But scholars at Michigan identified two types of leadership behavior, more stuff. Oh, I get what this, and that confused me for a second. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Okay, they both did it too at the site in different ways, but yeah, interaction facilitation behavior. Okay, I get it. These were everybody that's interested in a goal while having consideration to behavior is similar. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I see why. It pays to It do. I had to reread it again. Goal emphasis in work facilitation and leader support and interaction facilitation. That is the answer I'm looking for. Whew, whew. Uh, but I get it, but I breathe too hard into it. I every word is defined, and we do it on a common goal, but I do it really. I if I know it, and so when I see something that's challenging, even though I know I can read through something very easily for you guys, but I don't want to do that to myself. I have to internalize this. So I can sound proper all you want, but my goal is simple to find the answers like I told you. Okay. So we found the answer. But now we have to read down from what's goal emphasis and work facilitation. And then the second one, leadership support and interaction facilitation. Now, if I read it already, but if I already kind of explained it, but if I had to go over a goal emphasis and work facilitation, someone in leadership, that's exactly, if you look to the left, what's right there. Someone in leadership, you give them a goal. Usually they do it like this. They see who is the weakest link, and they see who they can hire that's better than them, and then someone ends up burnt out. That's a normalized, like a McDonald's or a Lorica or Convergence. You work in stuff but constantly getting moderated, monitored, and all of that, like it's difficult. So you sit up there and you have to meet a quota at Alorica and Convergence for AT&T. And I see why. You want to give your customers the best. Like I I I just what I was wanting to say, my I had to relate it to me because like I wanted to see the best, but I was immature. I don't understand sometimes my logical thinking. But the guys had a goal emphasis. They said, do it this way, or we will have to do corrective training, and then the work facilitation to sit up there and work and facilitate that goal emphasis while you are working. You have to navigate at all times on a 10-hour or 12-hour clock your leadership behavior. If you at one moment be nice to her and not nice to him, then stuff start brewing, hostile environment, and then the manager always ends up winning and just flaking off the one that is giving him the most trouble. So sort of like that. And then leader support and interaction facilitation. So leader support is to be a part of something, have a leader support from the employees. That's the number one goal, to get the harmony. And then that's why it's a 50-50 thing, but it should be a 70 leader, 30 employee. It should never be 50-50 between an employee and a leader, because that is not good. Because then you 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 have no wiggle room. And when something happens to that employee, they may want you to be there for them too much, and you risk your own job if the real boss finds out, and it can get ugly. No news is good news for the CEO, right? I guess that's how it works. What do y'all think? I told you. That's why I didn't want to read it. And that's what I was thinking. And it just comes right out. Uh, this is going to be a while. Initiating structure behavior. That I know what that means. We can have a structure, but I just explained it. Consideration behavior, goal emphasis and work facilitation behavior, and leader. I remember in the military, they were asking me if I could do things I don't want to do. And it wasn't the basic or AIT, it was when I got to my duty station beyond Korea. And it was like that's not how you I seriously took an oath and tried to take the military serious. And I hope the aliens and the advanced civilizations that saw my courage and dedication to run 2 miles in 1842 or 48 and did it by myself with the encouragement of a Puerto Rican woman. She didn't have to do it, but she did it. Shows my dedication towards the military. How it turned left, you know how it turned left. I don't need to even go into detail of how it turned sort of left, but you know that is not how I intended it to be. And relation oriented or employee oriented behaviors. Yeah, yeah, I get that. The task oriented leaders are focusing their behaviors on an organizational structure. So they want to get people together that will sit up there and do the job harmonistically, if that is even a word, like where you sit up there and you're doing things and saying, hey, Bobby, run this project to Kelly. And Kelly, like, okay, I got this project. I reviewed it. I made some tweaks. It goes to the CEO now. The CEO reads it for a whole bunch of people, and it has to sound right. But it's not like the CEO didn't put no projects. It's other things they do too. But, it's unified. They joke, they bullshit. That's why men often like other men on the job because most of the stuff, what do men talk about? I will never say. But they they sit up there and see, it's kind of weird because it's like I'm not calling no one weird, but I don't understand why races have to hate other races or dislike them. But I get it. I get it, but I don't get it unless you have hate in your heart. But how many times a person must die before they say no more will I keep dying? In the Yeah, that went deep. They may still be concerned with staff motivation. True, but it's not their main concern. The relation or employee oriented leaders are focusing on their behaviors on satisfying the needs of the team members. Thus, they nurture and maintain constructive relations with team members to motivate them. Relation oriented leaders still focus on the task and the results. They just achieve them through different means. This is good shit. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to stop reading, by the way. That would be stupid. All this juicy gossip in high end terms of relation oriented leaders is just so Mufasa to me. It reminds me of Lion King. In the 1950s, this happened in the 1950s. They built this whole thing in the 1950s. This is so cool. I like learning about stuff that we have already considered. I just don't have the time to do everything. I wish I did. I did read. Oh my God, I promise, Dr. Kent. Oh my God, don't think I threw away your book. Your book right behind me, bro. Like, seriously, Doc. Oh my God, I read all of how many? Hold on, we gotta pause. I read this whole damn thing. I have to pause anyway. I have a potty break. So anyway, I interviewed him March 16th, I believe. No, March 11th or March 16th. No, March 16th I was in there, but March 11th. And this is his book. I read the whole thing while I was in there. I had the time, literally. Yeah, and it says so much information. 177 words. I didn't read all of this, but I didn't read the appendix either, nor the footnotes. But I think I read all the way to the message of hope, which, wait, I read it. I want to read the last ending. Not recovery as a fantasy of returning to how things were, but recovery as lived reality of building a life that is functional, meaningful, and worth living. And the rest of this paragraph say, you are not broken. You are not hopeless. You are managing a treatable medical condition. With proper treatment, appropriate support, and persistence, recovery is possible. Not recovery as a fantasy of returning to how things were, but recovery as a lived reality of building a life that is functional, meaningful, and worth living. That is what I wish for you. What the hell, doctor, do that, man? I forgot that part, Dr. Kim, but I added it. I said, "What's wrong? What's right? What's next?" I was ready, but then it was the footnotes. But you ended with that. I can imagine you drinking your coffee or Red Bull or whatever you drink, sitting there at your laptop, Mac probably. I prefer Mac, and just typing away at that ending. You could have put anything as a doctor, anything. But your last words of advice for that book was, I wish this for you. I could go into details one day. I will probably make a show this weekend about it. But that is some valid shit that I can't remember the whole thing, but I will welcomely read it. It made it useful for the regular reader like me. What I'm reading now, you have to break down because you don't use these words commonly. But that book was so common, like you broke it down for a schizophrenic, for a bipolar, for any mental health. You said that schizophrenia has to be dealt with indefinitely, but that doesn't mean that it's over for the schizophrenia. You said that transcranial magnetic stimulation helps rewire the brain, neurons in different places. That is so cool. That is Tesla stuff or some. Thank you. And it was worth stopping. They may still be concerned with their staff motivation. Where am I? Oh, I'm sorry. I know where I'm at. Sorry, y'all. It's my fault why that keep happening because I didn't adjust. What the fuck? That's crazy. I never had to do that. Well, yeah, I kind of did, you know, at Blue Cloud Cleaning, but providing information of outside events, that's hard to get unless you on it. And I'm a leader like that. You see, I'm always on the next thing except meet me, kick me off, which was messed up. I can make a new account, but I'm not tripping over that. But when it's time is right, they'll have me. But I'm just messing with them. No beef, no beef, me. Whether you do it or not, I know it's a reason why. But I'm always on the next best thing, and I still want to look for more. I fell a lag behind 2 weeks. It's like crazy. But what else did they say? Getting resources is what I do. If I could get more, I would. And promoting the interests of the work unit. You have, and that is hard to do. That is not easy to navigate. Promoting the interests of the work unit. Um, yeah, you that you know what, Yuko? I think you're right, but at the same time, that can damage people and keep them stuck in their ways, like the last project I did. Because if you promote the interest, that means you're taking sides like the majority over the non-majority. I don't know what that word is called, so I won't say it. But the majority over the outlier, just say outlier, you know. And that doesn't mean that their work, but I'll take the ownership. I'm not the type to sit up there and try to not take ownership for something. Like I'll sit up there and I'll take ownership for my mistakes, but at the same time, did could I roll up on a street looking for marijuana, in Maryland or DC? Yeah, I did that. I take ownership. That's it. I'm not going to sit up there and lie. And I hate that I had to use drugs. That's why I bring it up because I hate I hate it. What would I be without humbling myself and being a prior drug user? I probably wouldn't be able to humble myself because I would have no scars on my body. I wouldn't even want my mother's tattoo on me. I wouldn't care about life. It would just be about me. And it's never like that. So, another book I tried to read all the time is this book. This. When I was out. And it had some good stuff in it. Which stuff did I like the most? You know, I should know it without even reading the fucking book, but I had it spewed down my throat a lot for 3 long years at Big Vets. And when I read it, a light just came on. Big Vets. The men, the women, how I managed to stay there for 3 long years. Thank you for paying for my college. Thank you for making it easy. Thank you. So, anyway, I would listen to these stories of these men and women that went through their relapse and stuff, and I do it on a daily basis. So I learned something you rubbed off on me, you guys, because I do it all the time. 3 years of it, you can't help but start to tell your own story one day. And I never got to because I was too scared to get up there in front of almost 400 men and deny, because I was still in denial. I was still in denial. I didn't even I didn't even want to talk about my addiction, because what addiction? Whatever, you know. And it showed in the things I did. Terrible. But I will read some part of this because it's necessary. How did that smell good? How did that smell so good? So you can tell who was reading this. It smelled like cologne number 9. Hey. Okay, here we go. We're gonna read this. We cannot change the nature of the addict or addiction. We can help to change the old lie, once an addict, always an addict, by striving to make recovery more available. God help us remember the difference. Now, I'm going to be honest. Because Trump invested his time into marijuana, when I go to Seattle, I have no problem using marijuana, but while here, I don't want to associate myself with even spewing those words out of my mouth. So I believe that marijuana, they have ashwagandha, which is brain accelerating, and other types of marijuana that helps the brain in Seattle. And I grew up out of all of them. You know what I said after I got off of probation? I said, I want to try every strand that's like gummy, or just to see what it does, because each strand have different properties, chemical properties. But I don't want to do it and sit up there and end up back doing some weird shit. Because to me, if you were to take one chemical code out of methamphetamine, it's still kind of like methamphetamine, right? That's like putting a Coca-Cola in water and watching it just rise up with the brown stuff, right? Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't want to downplay that action because how it happened, I know it was some type of foreign substance in my soul, but um yeah, so I really believe in it. And if Trump believes in it, I believe in it. Because it can help cure a lot of things that people don't understand. And if they're researching it, they know. They know something already. Something has sparked their attention to alert the mass public that they're researching it now. Finally. Now imagine street weed over regular weed, like weed that has a code that they have to go by. Certain strands are different, but it's a code. They can't just put meth in the weed. But just imagine one code being off. You still get some of that, right? So you have to be careful. So I don't want to do that. That was I wrote it down. I still got my biblical thing. But yeah. In addition to influencing internal work unit, oh, I read it right. God be the glory. I've been clean 20 years, y'all. Almost a long time. Or let's just give a take almost 20 years. Almost. Off of every major drug. That's not hard to achieve. And I have to thank the military, the VA, and every other place that tried to help me for my success. Thank you. Thank you. And most of all, God bless you all. And that's all I can say. So if you think I'm talking about you, fuck yeah, I'm talking about you. Thank you. Thank you all. Anyway, I had to say that on the NA Bible because this is like it started in California and migrated. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll see. You did. Oh, so back to what I was saying. I don't think. I don't think. He said something about promoting. Yeah, the promoting the inches of the work unit. That's how I got there. So networking, and this is Yuko. So he's a foreigner, but he's right about what he say. He's right. He's correct. I'm wrong because that's how the world works. He noticed how the world works and he called them out for what it was, promoting the interests of the work unit. That means if two people are fucking up, you're going to get fired. But they'd rather fire two people over the 10 people in the work unit that gets along. That's what it's basically saying. He noticed that, or she, whoever this is. And now we go backwards to 2011, where Zhu and Thomas studied the effects of a task oriented leadership. When I think of task, I think of task force, a task force, a force to be reckoned with, someone with a specific agenda. When I watch Cops, I haven't watched it in a while. I kind of got heartbroken, but like I watch it in the task force of what they do when they're out there doing the right things and not corrupt things. They sit up there, and one guy, one black African American cop, he was a detective. He went in and he caught the women prostituting with HIV/AIDS. He caught them at their same spot. He had one guy that was a white male cop drive over and see if they would take advances at that. That's what a task force, that's what I think of when I think of a task force leadership behavior. He got almost four girls that were HIV positive and never quite said it, but they knew they were. I don't know how they know, but I'm glad they found out, that sit up there and still trick. The youngest was 18 and didn't even want to hear what he had to say. He said, in 20 years, you will not look the same. Believe me when I'm telling you. And she didn't want to hear him. That's leadership behavior. Relation oriented leadership behavior on employee engagement in a sample of 178 employees from one organization who rated leadership behavior for their immediate manager. Okay. And self reported their level of engagement using the organization's 360-degree employee appraisal tool. Interesting. You appraise a what the fuck? That's funny. Uh, results found both task and relation oriented leadership behaviors are positively related to employee engagement. True. Additionally, results suggest that relation oriented leadership behavior is a stronger predictor of employee engagement than task oriented leadership. True. Ooh, interesting. Zhu and Thomas' work has strengthened what Fernandez has found regarding the positive relationship between relation oriented leadership behavior and employee satisfaction, and suggested continued research should investigate the correlation between task oriented and relation oriented leadership behavior and employee engagement. Okay. Dang, more people jumped in on it. Peer review. They went back again. Now they went forward. Now, why wouldn't you put that in order? So you are allowed to get away with that cheat code. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning some shit. Now you about to start going into algorithms. I see Q12. What the hell is that? Let me not read forward. So you can jump from 11 to 8 back to 11 to 8 to 12 to 6 and not put it in the order that is appropriate. But it is in an order because this is a peer review thing. So I know it's of its top APA psychological is the middle word for P. The P is for psychological. I always wanted to say that. So yeah, man. Oh, Diffle. 917. I'm so sorry, y'all. It feels so organic to read it in my head. You know, to hear it, it comes out and then I have to reread. I don't know why. Cause you hear me, I hear me, it hears me. Whatever. The central nervous system. Ooh. I just want nothing. Shut up. Wang and Bird investigated the relationship between leadership behavior and employee engagement in a sample of 917 school teachers. And that's deep. You know, when you're a school teacher, 917, that's nearly 1,000 teachers who self reported their engagement and rated their principals authentic leadership behavior. Leadership behavior was measured with the 16 item scale. Oh, I love that. The questionnaire, that's what that is. Developed by Walambua. Walambua. Oh, shit. What happens? Teacher engagement was measured using the Gallup Workplace Audit, the Q12. Their results found a strong positive correlation, I want to know, between authentic leadership behavior and employee engagement. So, mm, that's crazy. Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. The relationship between authentic leadership behavior and employee engagement was studied by Alak in Israel 2012 in a sample of 117 employees who rated their supervisors using the A, what's up here, right? Authentic leadership questionnaire and self-reported their engagement via the UWES. You didn't talk about that one, but okay, keep going. Results found a positive correlation between authentic leadership and employee. That's true. I have to admit, some people, it wasn't everybody, but some people were there for me, you know, and those were the people that were hurt the most because I was not in the right state of mind. And that's the scary thing. I was like that young little girl that was 18 that didn't want to listen. And we have to make our children start listening to us. I was thinking about this earlier. You don't get them in the molding phase. I don't know what age that is. If I had to correlate the age, it's between 8 and 14. If you don't get them at all by that age, you lost the battle. And that's even when you have them. If you have them and you don't engage from 8 years old to 14, that is a major milestone. That is when they start developing their own personality. They have it already, but this is when, you know, their confliction with their parents starts to happen. When it's like, do I listen to them? And if you ignore them and let them engage in weirdo behaviors, they will never listen to you, no matter how much you may look solid. I don't care. They won't. Not to say that it kind of did happen to me. I listened to my mother. I got my ass whooped by my 5'2" mother, and I'm 5'6" and a half. So, but when she died, I didn't want to listen no more because I didn't have anything to live for. And that was kind of harmful on God's part because I didn't care for God. Why would you take my mother? Is what I thought. Yeah. So I didn't care. But I did fall in love, and I made a sacrifice with the military. And then I tried to do what your quote says, Uncle Sam, you know? And who is Uncle Sam? We gotta look up Uncle Sam, right? I can't just speak those names and not know who Uncle Sam. I know the face, but who is he, really? Some people don't know either, so don't even look at me like that. Oh God. Whoa. Found that ethical leadership behavior was positively correlated with employee engagement, and engagement positively mediated the relationship between ethical leadership. That is all. That was the perfect word to call it. I've said it. When you have to deal with your ethics, and that is hard. I took an ethics class on Coursera and a conflict class back in 2016. I still have the vouchers for that. But it is hard. And it's something that is so taboo that they say it, they speak it, but they learn very quickly it's the exact opposite if you in the wrong field. If you are in the field to see how many people will suck up to you because you are the boss, you did something, whatever you did to get into that position, or you created that position, ethics come into play. And like, let me use Mark Zuckerberg. I don't think he do anything unethical because with the technology he has, he is able to see who is really there for him and not. They can't get mad because he fires them for talking shit on his property at one hacker way. Everyone knows that. Like, what would you do if you had the technology to monitor people randomly at real time that speak certain words about Mark? And then they know that they're up in his property doing that. So I don't have no remorse for that. That's real. Right, moderators at Facebook? Uh, Personal initiative, that's more. And negatively mediated the relationship between ethical leadership and employee. Mm. Really? Can I read now? You pushing a lot of shit my way. Can I read now? I'm thinking that this is about to be some groundbreaking, life alternate shit emails I get. And I get this shit. Oh man, I got a headache. Ugh. I gotta congratulate these people for making these freaking skills and shit. It's crazy. You've been doing this for nearly almost 2 decades. I'm reading statistics right now. What is this shit called? Qualitative and quantitative data. Here we go. I love it. What just popped up? Oh, I could be. Oh, I'm probably getting. I gotta get off of here. Oh, I knew it. They be like, people be trying to make funny jokes. Exhibit, Louisa, Black Magic. Ooh, Black Magic. I don't even be so way some of you. But it's all good. I like y'all. Y'all cool. Pull it in a fan. Pull it in a fan. So first we got figure one, H1 through H3. So this is how I start out. You give a hypothesis, but I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna do it off camera for 2 hours. But I will say this. I'm so proud of y'all for watching it. I will say this. It will get done by tomorrow, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 10 p.m. an hour before. I have to do this off camera because I'm not doing nothing stupid. And then it's thunderstorming. You know, that's a good excuse. And then my electric bill gonna be sky high, me streaming like this. My Wi-Fi bill gonna be, I could be making excuses. But honestly, I'm not. I just truly want to do this off camera because I'm not gonna cheat, I promise you, and I assure you by the biblical sense. You have to trust my word. Sometimes y'all must trust my word, and that's the building. But it's been an hour and I want to make sure um I dig into this deeper with quietness and no actual live, because I did pretty good with finishing my project before. So I'm gonna do a little off camera, and then that's that. Thank you so much. You guys rock, seriously. And when I finish, it will be on camera. So, yeah. Take care, you guys. Be safe. Bye.